Hi, today I'm going to show you how to complete step 5 in your account with us at GoToFSBO.com. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're at our website, GoToFSBO.com, and you want to go up here to Seller Login. Use your email address that you used when you signed up with us and the password. Go ahead and click Log In. Here you'll see your property address that you have listed with us. If you click on that address, or if you have multiple addresses, you want to make sure that you click on the address that you're trying to complete. So here you're going to go ahead and open up your steps. And as you can see, steps 1 through 3 have already been completed. Your listing agreement should have already been completed as well. Step 5 is the data input sheets. These are the details we need about your property. So when you get to step 5, you want to go ahead and hit the go. And here you'll find that you need to click on whatever data sheets for your MLS area so if you are in the Northern Virginia area, you're going to click up here. If you're in Virginia Beach, you're going to pick one of these. I'm just going to happen to pick the Rain Residential. Make sure you're clicking on the red links to access the form. And we'll go ahead and open up a form. Sometimes it takes a minute depending on your internet connection, how quickly it will load. And then you just scroll down and start completing it. Make sure you read the instructions carefully. You're doing the work of the listing agent. This is the biggest portion of the paperwork that we need you to complete. So you want to go ahead and put your name on the form. All owners on the deed must be on this form. If there's 2, you should be putting 2 on there. And then of course your property address, what county you live in, or city, and what's the street type. This would be street, drive, road. Are you using a lockbox? I'm going to go ahead and put that we are. Whether you want the agents to call you first or not, and then of course a good phone number where you are able to answer the phone often for the agents to call, and if you have a alternate phone number. We need your email address as well. If there's a second owner, the second owner's email address. As well. And you go ahead and hit next. This spot here, the area must be accurate. You can look these up on this website here to know what section of the area you live in. So you want to click on the correct one, whether you have a subdivision or not. If you don't have a subdivision, you can just put none. Most places do have a subdivision. They may not have a neighborhood name, or the neighborhood name may differ from what the subdivision name is. Or they could be the same. Then of course your parcel ID. This is typically found on your tax records. If you don't, you can always go to the county website to pull up your tax record. If you don't have one handy, that'll give you the parcel ID and your legal description. We're just going to put some numbers in here because I don't have one in front of me. Your legal description should be like Lot 8, Section 27, and maybe some words or not. Then the crash and noise area for the rain area, not all the areas are going to ask for this information. It is Virginia Beach, so you want to make sure that you are selecting the correct information. For some reason, if you don't know, you need to use these help infos to help you navigate to find those answers. We cannot, you just can't guess at them and not be sure. Rain will definitely kick your listing back to us. They're also good for sending out fines for incomplete or not accurate information. And then, of course, you want to give us the school names. These also need to be accurate, or it will flag the listing with the MLS people, and we will be notified that you are in violation of not giving us correct information. Then, of course, you want to put on here what type of home that you have, whether it's single family, condo, or townhome. Of course, condos and townhomes are going to be attached. If you're a single family, you're detached. And then, of course, most people own their property by fee simple, unless it's a condo. And you want to put how many finished square feet your property has, the number of bedrooms, and then, of course, the number of full and half baths, how many levels. And this is all information you should have right at hand. Master model would be if the home has not been lived in, if you are using a model home. Well, I shouldn't say if it hasn't been lived in. You can be a model home that's been lived in before. And then they want to know if your bathrooms and bedrooms are on the first floor. A lot of people will be looking for this when they're searching for homes. And then approximately the number of acres that you might have, lot dimensions, if you know it, your phone number. Again, it's asking for the names on the deed. And then whether you know the approximate lot footage, your association name, if you are in an association. If you're not, you can put none or NA. And we are going to say we are on sewer and water, city water and city sewer. Basically, if you are paying a water bill, chances are you are on the city or county water. If you have a well and a septic, then you would be choosing those ones. Then, of course, what type of water heater you have. If you don't live in a condo and you're single family, you could just put NA here. The disclosures, everybody has to provide a DPOR closure statement, disclosure statement, and then if you're in a POA, you want to go ahead and check that, or any of these that may apply to your listing. You can go ahead and hit next. And then, of course, you're going to mark off any of the rooms that you have or the interior features that may apply and what appliances you have. And I'm just going through these real fast so you can watch me mark. You can mark up to as many as that you need. Some of them are limited. When you see this number 3 here, that means you can only select 3 items. So we can do backyard fenced and partial and a wood fence. It's not a waterfront. And then of course what kind of on here with the parking situation, do you want to say whether your garage is attached or detached or new garage? Maybe you just have parking spaces rather than a garage. What type of heat you have and cooling. And again, you're just going to go through here and mark all the ones that may apply. What type of house you have. Whether you have disability access equipment. The room dimensions are not required. That's totally up to you. If you want to put those in there, now's the time to do that if you want to do that. The narrative is what you want the public to see. So single family home. I'm just putting something in there real quick so you kind of get the idea of what usually you can go back to your step 2. It's going to be the same narrative that you used when you did step 2 with us. And then directions to your property. Make sure that you give us actual directions and not see MapQuest or use GPS or anything like that. They're actually looking for you to type out the directions. Agency approved is basically where if there's certain loans that you're willing to accept, or you can just put all, or mark off the ones that you're interested in. Seller contribution is when you're offering closing costs. If you want to stipulate that up front, I would recommend that you just leave that blank for now, and use that as a negotiating tool when you get an offer. And then, of course, your approximate taxes. This will be found on your tax record, whether you're in a POA or an HOA, what your dues would be, and how often those dues are paid. Anything you forget to mark is going to be highlighted like this, so you won't be able to move on to the next page until you answer it. Where you want the offers to go to. Whether that owner is an agent or not. You're not an agent if you're doing a FSBO. This is more or less asking, do you hold a license? Not if you're standing in as your listing agent. So if you hold a license, even if it's inactive, you must mark yes. If you've never had a license or if your license has been expired, then you would mark no. And then you want to read over our instructions here. And then when you go to sign at the bottom, you're going to hold the left button, or the right button rather, the entire time that you are signing your name. And nobody's looks perfect. They all come out looking quite kindergartenish, so don't worry about that. And then you go ahead and type your name here, and seller 2 would type their name here. If you've completed step 4, which you have, you should be able to upload it right here. So you're going to hit the upload button. This is going to take you to your files, and you're just going to click on where the file is at, locate that file, and go ahead and upload it. And that should instantly upload it. And then you can go ahead and hit next. This is just giving you a review of everything that you've done with us. You're almost done with everything that you need to complete, and we can get going on getting you keyed into the MLS. Keep in mind that we want you to read the things that we send. There's usually a lot of important information there. The other thing I would suggest is reading over our FAQs. If you have not, it's going to answer a lot of your questions ahead of time, so you're prepared. And you can move on to step 6. If you have purchased a lockbox or a sign with us, you need to make arrangements on picking up those signs or having them mailed to you. Thank you. Have a great day.